So there is a lot of news getting into that happened this week, from Marathon having a blowout reveal to Ubisoft providing an update regarding the Crew lawsuit, and a lot more to get into. So let's go ahead and get to the news. Bungie did a huge reveal when it came to the upcoming Marathon game, which is this, I guess, PvP, PvE extraction shooter of sorts. It's been received very mixed from a lot of people. You even look at the like to dislike ratio on YouTube, it's kind of very damn near split in half, and people are not really blown away. If anything, they're underwhelmed. And the summary and the gist of this from a lot of people is that it is a generic looking extraction shooter. Now, me personally, I'm not really a big multiplayer guy, but when I look at this, the combat specifically don't look that bad, and I do like the art style. I do wish that this game, had a single player campaign, because they did have a cinematic short that was directed by somebody. I would have really loved to been immersed in this world of sorts. I'm pretty sure they can really tap into the lore that they've already crafted for the world. I don't know why, but when I look back at the initial reveal trailer, it kind of gave me like a System Shock vibe. In a weird sense. I don't know how to describe it. Now, the OGs of the community are very upset that this single player game, or one single player franchise, has now been gutted and turned into an extraction shooter, which I can't blame them. That would be like taking Assassin's Creed and just say, hey, from here on out, it's going to be this multiplayer centric game. We're gonna give assassins guns now and shit. Like, it would have been like that. It would have, had the same type of reception, probably worse. Typically start very lackluster in terms of content, and then over time, if it sticks around that long, we see some type of resurgence, and people typically end up swarming to the game. Now, people has been talking about the dreaded price point. What will it cost? There's been rumors saying it may cost as much as $40. Also, keep in mind, this is the same group of people that killed factions, so there's that. An update regarding the ongoing lawsuit between the Crew players and Ubisoft, with a quote directly from Ubisoft reading, "Plaintiffs do not allege that Ubisoft made any statements indicating that consumers would in fact obtain unfettered access to the Crew if they purchase a physical copy. To the contrary, the packaging made clear that Ubisoft could limit access. This is fatal to plaintiffs' FAL, UCL, and CLRA claims. Plaintiffs' entire theory of the case is based on the faulty assumption that buying a physical disc entitles purchasers to infinite access to play the game." Now, this is in regards to a lawsuit that was originally filed sometime last year from people who played the first Crew game, not the Crew 2, but the first one, where they was like, you could have just made an offline single player mode for people to keep playing. And me personally, when that game first came out at the time, I think that was still at a weird time where people were kind of like, what are you doing? You could have just had an offline single player mode. Even though nowadays the internet connection has probably gotten a lot better compared to what it was back in 2014. And I could see the point of it would be hard to maintain any type of update to keep the service offline, which is why they should have, launched with a single player mode in the first place. But telling people that they never own their games is kind of a reach, and it's kind of scary when you think about, considering the digital landscape that we live in now. You telling people that they don't own a game that is always online is scary. Let's say when the Division 3 comes out, and they want to shut down their game 3 months after launch, they could with the flick of a switch, because more than likely that game is going to be always online too. Or hell, it would kind of make people worry about, would that translate into single player games. I mean, it kind of already does, because there are some single player games that Ubisoft has put out from years and years ago that are just not available. But imagine if it was a game that came out as recent as, I don't know, 2020, around the same time that the PS5 launched, and Ubisoft says, you know what, you can't have access to those games even if you bought the digital version or physical version, it didn't matter. And like, let's say if you try to download it again on your PlayStation, and let's say you try to re-download it again and an error message pops up and says, I'm sorry, but this license has been expired or something like that, then that would be very, very insane. And yeah, welcome to the future, I guess. Next up, according to Matt Piscatella from Blue Sky Social, he gave us a little bit of a sales update regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows. saying that the game has been the best-selling video game in the US for each of its first 3 weeks in market, according to Circana's Retail Tracking Service, or CRTS for short. Dollar sales latest data through April 5th. Currently ranked second, right behind the blazing sales money machine known as Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, granted, do we have numbers yet for this game? No, but I think people gotta understand Ubisoft's not gonna be quick to put out numbers for this game. And besides, it's not just a Ubisoft problem, it's an everybody problem. Like, unless your game sells out the goddamn wazoo, they're not going to talk about it, period. So if your game had a budget or an expectation of 2 million and you sell between that 1.5 or 1.7 or right at 2, they're not going to say shit. They're going to talk about how many cats you petted or how many miles you drove on a motorcycle or some dumb shit like that. But if you exceed that expectation, and let's say you sell 10 million in a day or in 3 days, then they'll put something out and be like, yeah, let the people know. Go ahead, you get a bonus. Upcoming investors call is gonna be probably the most, I ain't gonna say anticipated, but people are gonna be trying to, you know, finally get the concrete numbers about how that game performed. But I still feel like either way you slice it, if they consider it a success and put how much money the game sold by, like they did with Valhalla, they say the game sold them 12 or 13 million copies, then somebody's gonna be trying to find a way to say that that game was still a flop even with that. The release date for Mafia: The Old Country got leaked on Steam, which since then I believe the Steam page has been taken down, where it did say at one point, Mafia: The Old Country is available August 8, 2025. Pre-order now for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and PC via Steam, and stay tuned to the official Mafia website for more information. Releasing in August is actually like an underrated time to release a game, considering you ain't got any big heavy hitters coming out around that time. Outside of that, you have June, you have July, just kind of quiet. I say right up to sometime in September. After September, you get into October, you get into the whole buffet of releases, then it's gonna be so many, you ain't gonna have any empty slots till what, probably December at that. But this is one of the most highly anticipated games to come out, and honestly, I think this game has already earned Hangar 13 a lot of goodwill back from where they were at one point. Now, granted, people could say, well, what goodwill they lost? I mean, with Mafia 3, there was a lot of bugs and glitches that game had, and it had a lot of repetitive structures to the game's open world, and even the UI looked kind of horrendous and kind of off-putting. But the thing that people loved the most about Mafia 3 was its narrative. It was a chef's kiss in that regard. According to a playtester, a brand new prototype game may be in the works. Now, this comes from somebody on Reddit by the name of Big B, where they allegedly were giving details about this upcoming game in this series. Well, it was YouGov survey which asked me to sign an NDA and confirmed that I would not disclose the contents. It then confirmed a series of features that upcoming games will include and how popular this was with me percentage wise. It was not a playtest, but did specify that these features were already planned as part of upcoming games. Now, this is one of them rumors I look at and say, please don't give me hope, because I am a big fan of the prototype series. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like that was an underrated franchise for both games. It's a shame that the second one didn't sell as much as I thought it should have. And then reportedly bringing back Alex Mercer, I kind of like the idea. I want to see how they're going to do it, because if I remember correctly, wasn't he killed by the playable protagonist in the second game? So it's like, I need to see how they're gonna make sense of that, unless they do like a Venom symbiote thing where a part of Alex Mercer was left behind and he was able to replicate himself through some other weird means. I don't know. Unless it's some type of reimagining of the series, then I'm all for it. Now, based on what Big B said, it kind of sounds like that he was taking part in some type of survey, like what games would you want to see type of thing, and not necessarily revealed anything confidential. Now, he did say he signed some sort of NDA, so I am curious about that part, as it might add to some validity. I don't know. Time will tell to see whether or not we will be getting a brand new prototype game. We ain't gotta wait that much longer, because we know that Xbox is going to be doing a showcase sometime in June, and who knows, a new prototype game could be that one more thing. But with that being said, y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.